sewist and aspiring sewist, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Doyen, and in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to make this shirt you are seeing on your screen. So if this looks like what you are interested in, then you want to keep watching this video to the end, and please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this particular video. So the fabric we have here is a cotton fabric which can be used for a joggers, a sweatpants, a hoodie, a sweatshirt, depending on what you want to work with. So this particular fabric has a two-sided face. The right face has a cotton face, while the other side has a polyester face. Now the polyester face is the one that is shining slightly, while the dull face is the part that has the cotton face. And this is also an elastic band which is about 1 yard. Now for the cotton material, you need about 1 yard for the shot you want to achieve. And yeah, so this is the standard measurement we're going to be working with for this particular tutorial. So we know for that delay, guys, let's just get right into it. So the first thing I did here was to place my fabric on a fold, and then on this top side here I trimmed off the uneven part of my fabric, and then on this other end I trimmed off the edges of my fabric. So the essence of this is so that the rough part of your fabric doesn't ruin your perfect job. So my measurement book, my length is measured as 22 inches, and because we're going to be attaching a waistband to this particular short, we're going to subtract 2 inches allowance for the waistband and then measure 22 inches. So I took out 2 inches for the waistband on this top side here, leaving out about ½ inch sewing allowance, which is what you can see. And then I went ahead to measure 23.5 inches. Now this also includes the folding allowance. My actual length is 22 inches and I added 1.5 sewing allowance. So what I have measured here is 23 inches. Now note the part where I took out 2 inches at the top side for my waistband. For the flap, I divided my hips into 4. My hips is 44 inches. 44 inches divided by 4 is 11 inches. So I'm just going to mark 11 inches. Now for every length you're going to be measuring, you're going to take out the waistband allowance. So you can see that I took out 2 inches while measuring the 11 inches. So please kindly take note of that. Now since my hips is 44 inches, 44 inches divided by 4 is 11 inches. So I'm going to measure 11 inches here, no sewing allowance, just 11 inches, just as seen in this video. Then for my thigh, on my measurement book, my thigh is measured as 26 inches. So I'm just going to divide that by 2. Your thigh measurement should be divided by 2. So what I have measured here is 13 inches. Then on the down part, I'm going to reduce it by 2 inches. So 13 inches minus 2 is 11 inches. So I'm just going to mark 11 inches here. So after connecting it together, I'm just going to mark a curve around my flap area. So the allowance for the curve can be around 0.75 or 1 inch, depending on how curvy you want it to be. So moving on, I'm going to cut out what we have here. And mind you, just like I've always said, the width part of your streetwear fabric should always be the stretchy part, while the non-stretchy part should always serve as your length for whatever you are trying to achieve. So do not forget that. So next thing here, we're going to be using the other part to draft out the back bodice, and make sure that the stretchy part is also the part that is forming the width of whatever you want to cut, and also the non-stretchy part is forming the height of whatever you want to cut. So for the back side, we're going to take out our seam allowance, which is 1.5 inches. So that is where the seam allowance is going to be added. So I placed it just as seen in this video, just to manage my fabric. So what we have here is 1.5 for the seam allowance. That will be on the back bodice. So for every other thing, you're going to cut equally aside from the flap of the back bodice. So on this part, I made it wider by 1 inch, just as seen in this video. Then for every other part, I cut it equally. So on this part, I cut equally, while on the downside, I cut equally as well. So the only difference that we have on the back side is the sewing allowance extension on the side, and then the flap extension. The flap extension is 1 inch, just as illustrated in this video. And then yeah, just for ease, it's mainly just for ease. And then on this side is the seam allowance, which is 1.5 inches. I hope we have a clear understanding, which is just 1.5 inches. Yeah, so this is all about the bodies of our short. Next thing here is the side pockets. Now for the side pocket as well, we're going to repeat the same formula. Make sure that the part that forms the width of your pocket is the stretchy part of your fabric, while the part that forms the length of your pocket is the non-stretchy part. This would help you achieve your aim. Once you miss this part of streetwear, then a lot will go wrong with your outcome. I'm sorry, there's a lot going on here. The material is quite slippery, and coupled with the fact that the wind is quite on the high side today, so we're having to deal with a lot. So for the width of the pocket, I'm going to measure 7.5 inches. Now make sure that the right face of this fabric is facing each other on the inside, while you are marking on the wrong face outside. So for the width, I measured 7.5 inches for the width of my pocket. So I'm going to just do that equally on different angle. Then for the length, I'm going to be marking 13.5 inches. Now all of this includes the folding allowance and the sewing allowance. I hope you understand. Now on the top side of my pocket, I'm going to come in by 2 inches. Then from this top side, I'm going to come down by 7 inches. 7 inches is the space for my pocket entrance. So I'm just going to mark 7 inches and then connect this towards this other part here. Now remember that while we're measuring the width of the pocket, we measured 7.5 inches. Now, if you are sewing for a bigger size, this is standard for like a medium size or a large size. But if you're sewing for an extra large, you should add like about 1 inch to whatever you have measured here, or 1.5 inches, just so that you can have a better frame. The next thing here is just notch this part of your pocket and put this aside. So let me also add that if you're making this particular short for a man, you should add a back pocket. But for this particular one, I won't be adding a back pocket to it. I already taught a previous tutorial on how to achieve a welt pocket for your back pocket, so you can just check my previous video to be able to learn that. So we are going to be cutting the waistband fabric measurement. So since we took out 2 inches for the waistband, we are going to be working with 2.5 inches for the fabric. Now our hip was measured as 44 inches, right? And so I'm just going to be adding a little to that 44 inches. So let's say we had 6 inches to 44 inches. We should have about 50 inches thereabouts. So I'm just going to cut something extra because I don't know what the circumference of my waist will be after sewing. So I'm just going to guess it will be around, let's say 50, 52, if not lesser. So for the length, I am marking 5 inches, which would give us 2.5 inches when we fold. Now for the circumference of this, what we have here should be around 20. What we have here is around 25. So by the time I sew the whole short, we'll be able to determine if this will be enough or not. But I believe it's going to be enough, because what we need for the waistband circumference is exactly the waist measurement after sewing. So that will be all about this video. I'm just going to compile everything together and then we're going to the sewing process. So the first step here is to weave the slant part of the pocket. So we're going to pick it up from this notch part to the other side. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other one as well. So you have an option to either tape with your taping machine, or you weave and then fold it just as illustrated in this video. So moving on, I'm just going to go ahead to fold it on a straight sewing machine. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. So in a situation whereby you used your taping machine, you're going to be having double lines around here. So the next step is we're going to be folding on the side here on an allowance of 0.5, and then we're going to fold at the downside on an allowance of 0.5. So I'm going to do the same on the other side as well. So because of the kind of fabric I'm working with, I had to give it a moist look just so that it can bring out the gator. So we have the mark for the folding already. So I'm just going to position it on the front part of our short. So this is the first one I'm going to be working with. I'm going to make sure that this side of the pocket is equal with the side of the front part of my short, just as seen in this video. Then on this part, what we have here is 3 inches after folding the pocket. So I'm just going to pin just as seen in this video So on this down part, I folded it in and then I pin it just to secure the allowance of my pocket. On this other side, so I folded in just to be able to pin it as well. So the fabric is quite thicker and it has a foam kind of texture, so it's quite difficult to achieve a fold, but the main thing is to get your folding gator and be able to do your work. I'll do the same on the other side as well, folding on the same allowance, making sure that the pocket at the side is equal to the main body, just as in this video. Then on this top side, I'm going to measure 2 inches because that is the allowance that is left on that side. So I'm going to pin at the top side here and also do the same thing here, making sure that I fold in. So while doing this, make sure that you are not stretching your fabric. Make sure that you are just balancing it slightly with your hand. So once you're done layering, the next thing to do will be to go on a straight sewing machine to sew it. So just like I said previously, because I'm working with a stretchy fabric, even though the length doesn't stretch as much as the weight of the fabric, the length of the fabric still stretches slightly. So you have to make sure that while sewing, you are not stretching the fabric. You are only placing your hand on it. I hope you understand. Because the moment you start to stretch the pocket area, you'll be having something in form of a chewing gum look. So it's better that you just place your hand on it and sew. Do not stretch. So for every part that you sew on, make sure that you coordinate your stitch. And for the down part here, I make sure that the folds are properly in place, and then I continued in the measure of my stitch allowance. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. So without stretching, what we have as the measurement, the length measurement is 12.5 that's like 12.75. So on this other part here, I'm just going to be making a straight stitch just so that it doesn't flip up while doing something else. So after that, I'm just going to cut whatever excess that we have on the side. So here is a closer view of what it looks like. So I'm just going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So after sewing, this is what it looks like on both sides, just as you can see on your screen. So next thing here is to join the front bodice together with the back bodice. The back bodice is the plain one, while the front bodice is the one with the pockets. And the back bodice is also wider than the front bodice. So to avoid any form of alternation, I'm just going to pin on the side, just as seen in this video. And then on this part of the pocket, I'm going to make sure that I pin properly so that while sewing, I am able to pick that side up. So after that, I'm just going to go ahead to make a straight stitch. So while doing that, make sure that you don't sew on the pocket. Just make sure that you tack that particular point that is connected towards the main body. Just make sure that it is well tacked. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. I'm just going to go ahead to repeat the same thing on the other side. Once you're done with that, the next thing is to connect the flaps together. So I'm going to be connecting the front side towards each other like this. And if at all your pocket is not aligning together, this is the point where you're going to know that it is not aligning together. So make sure that you confirm that before you proceed further. So basically, I'm just going to pin around here and do the same thing on the back side. So once you're done with that, you're just going to sew on both sides. Next, we're going to be joining the crotch area together. So basically, we're going to be connecting the joining together, just as seen in this video. And then it is best that you check if the down part of your shorts is equal. So if there is any form of alternation, if at all it is not equal, then this is the right time to trim the excess off. So from here, I'm going to sew straight down. So after sewing, you just want to check again if the inseam is equal, and if at this point you realize that it is not as equal as you want, then you should trim whatever excess that is there. So after sewing, this is what the outer part looks like. This is what the pocket area looks like. So the next thing you want to do here is to pin the pocket area so it doesn't shift. So like I said previously, we're going to measure the circumference of the waist to determine the measurement of the waistband. So what I have here after stretching slightly is 24 inches. So on the waistband fabric, I'm going to measure 24 inches. We added half-inch seam allowance. So what I have measured here is 24.5. So I'm just going to cut this out. Moving on, I'm going to measure the midpoint of this band. So since our waistband is measured as 24 inches, 24 inches divided by 2 is 12 inches. So I'm just going to mark a straight line to serve as a midpoint. So after marking the midpoint, I am going to be folding this like this, just as seen in this video. And then from the midpoint, I'm going to come in and measure 1 inch. I'm also going to do the same thing on the other side. So it's basically like I'm coming down by 1 inch and then I'm marking the point. I'm also coming in by 1 inch and then I'm marking the point. So I came down by 1 inch on the top, from the top, and then from the center point I came inward or outward by 1 inch just to form the points. So the next thing I'm just going to do is fix my eyelet on those points. So this is a very stretchy elastic that I'm working with. So I'm basically going to be stretching this to fit into the circumference measurement that we have here. So you can decide to work with your actual waist measurement for the elastic band, but I prefer to always stretch it around because most of the fabric we work with, like this particular fabric I'm working with now, it is stretchy on the waist part. So it's just best that you stretch it to fit into whatever you have there, because even with the fact that the fabric itself is stretchy, you might still have some excesses even while trying to attach it to your shorts. So I went ahead to join the elastic. So you can do this multiple times just to secure the elastic band. The next thing I'm going to do here is to weave the down part of my shorts. In a situation where you're using your TP machine, I'm just trying to let you guys see that even with your straight sewing machine and your weaving machine, you can actually achieve something. So that is what I'm just basically making you see, because I could have just used my TP machine to actually fold the downside, but I'm just letting you see that you can achieve streetwears with your overlock machine and your straight sewing machine. So after weaving, I'm just going to go ahead to fold this. So after folding, this is what it looks like. This particular fabric actually has a foam feel, and so it might be difficult to actually get to iron it smoothly like that. So this is what it looks like. So this is what the eyelet looks like after fixing. So the next thing I'm going to do here is insert the elastic and then sew on the 0.5 allowance that we left previously. So while sewing, I'm just going to be stretching the elastic just to fit into the circumference of the fabric. So once you're done inserting the elastic, the next thing is to circulate the elastic around. So I'm just going to be stop stitching on the elastic. So this is going to be my first stitch. So while doing that, you just have to be very careful because this particular material I'm working with is quite slippery. So I just have to like hold the material firmly and sew. So I'm going to be top stitching for the second time, and this time around it's going to be under the eyelet hole. And tell me why the hole is already shifting towards the second line. It's supposed to be at the midpoint. Now this has happened because of the stretchiness of the kind of fabric I am working with. Tailoring is not easy. In the process of trying to save the fabric, I got one of my fingers injured. We move. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. So basically I'm going to be attaching this to the main bodies of my shorts. So if you look at the waistband closely, you will still see that there is the mark there. So I'm just going to notch the mark, and this mark is going to be connected towards the center point of the short at the front flap. So basically I'm going to start my sewing from here, and I'm going to be sewing on the 0.5 sewing allowance round. So after sewing round, this is what it looks like. So just in case you're wondering what the eyelet space is for, it is for our rope. So I'm just going to be weaving the inside round, just as you can see me illustrate here. And this is the final look after inserting the rope. So dear sewist, I hope you've been able to learn one or two from this particular video. Please do not forget to like this video, comment and share to your loved ones, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye.